Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Shaolin Andrew. What up, Shaolin? Thanks so much for the support. You're awesome. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our link in the info box below. Alright, yay! So yesterday, the feeds went down for a little bit while production was scolding the house guests because they were bad. So they were talking crap about past house guests, talking back to production, being all like, F you. That was me pretending to give the finger, but not really because I didn't want to give you guys the finger. Cursing, saying that competitions and the game are rigged, etc., etc. So as punishment, everyone is on slop indefinitely. That means even the HOH has to eat slop right now. And there's no hot water, and there's no hot tub access. That sucks. Okay, whenever I say the word or read the word indefinitely, I think of Notting Hill. When they ask her how long she's gonna stay in London, and she's like, indefinitely. Yeah, anyway, I love that movie. So, some of the house guests were taking it really hard. First of all, they were embarrassed that they had to be scolded like little kids. They felt bad for being rude to production because those people work hard, they have families, and they should not have to put up with this bullshit. They feel like they've disappointed their parents, so it was really sad. Karen and Jackie were like freaking sobbing together. I mean, first of all, of course, feeling embarrassed about getting in trouble, but also they were just like missing their families and feeling really alone in the moment. So they had kind of like a bonding moment. These two really remind me of like a mother and daughter, how when they fight, Jackie's all like, I hate you, go away! And Karen, the mom, is just like, oh, Jackie. Oh, teenagers. So Gary was also really upset because he lives a gourmet life. At one point, he just like stood in the corner facing the wall and just like chilled there for a little bit. It was crazy. However, Cass was literally dancing with joy. She was super excited that everybody was in trouble because she's been on slop for like 10 days now. So now everybody else has to suffer with her. She was living. Okay, so Demetres and Karen had a game chat by the hot tub, which was weird because I feel like those two never talk, but I guess they're trying to, you know, build some bridges here. So Karen's like, do you feel good about Cass going home this week? And Demetres is like, yeah, she's a really good manipulator. It's great that we're getting her out. And Karen agrees because, of course, as we've heard a million times, Cass threw me and Jackie under the bus. She's gotta go. So that wasn't a good impression, but you know what I mean. So then Karen was like, Cass is also claiming that she's got all the votes she needs except for yours, Dimitri. Like, what's up with that? And Dimitri's like, she's lying. She does not have all the votes that she needs, and she definitely does not have mine. So anyway, Karen and Cass have a game chat, and Cass wants to know, like, oh, you were talking to Demetres, like, what's up with his vote this week? And Karen's like, well, I don't think he's voting to keep you. He told me you're probably going home. So then Cass is like, well, I'm hoping that Gary's going to be able to convince Ika, and then Ika will convince Demetres to keep me. She's still got some hope here. And Cass is also hoping that Canada is going to get to vote a pre-juror back in. She doesn't know that they haven't been sequestered, so it's not gonna happen. Okay, but anyway, Netta, Bruno, Kevin, and Cindy were planning for next week, and they're feeling some really chilly vibes from Dre. And they're like, she is definitely in with Cassandra. So they're like, if we win HOH next week, we want to nominate Dre and William, and then potentially backdoor Gary. However, Kevin is, you know, working on his relationship with William. He feels pretty close to him, so if he wins, he would put up Dre and Karen. I don't really know if Kevin would go full out for this HOH, though, because the other day he was talking to himself about his game and how great it's going and how he hasn't had to win competitions yet. I feel like he would still want to lay low and not win this next HOH, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't feel that safe. I don't know. But they're also planning on continuing to drive the wedge between Dre and Jackie this week because they feel like they can keep Jackie close to themselves, and they already know they're on the outs with Dre, so like that's not going to happen. So they want to make sure those two are not going to work together. Okay, so then Cass and Dre were talking by the pool, and Cass is like, I think that Ika is the one who sealed my fate this week. She doesn't want me to stay, so it's not going to happen. And Dre's like, pretty sure that Aika is feeling pressure from Netta because Aika doesn't want to go against her friend this early and Netta wants you out. Dre really does not like Netta. Like, really does not like Netta. Dre is also saying she thinks that Gary has something to do with it. She's like, he's selfish. He doesn't want to make it obvious that he's your #1 ally by campaigning for you. So he's just going to like cut you loose, you know, cut his losses and move on. So she also shares with Cass that Gary has been telling people that she's been campaigning for Cass to try and get the target off of himself. So again, she's saying, like, Gary is really selfish. And of course, Gary is on Dre's shit list right now. Like, #1. Possibly higher than Netta. I don't know. But anyway, Cass was like, oh crap, that's not good. So then Cass was talking to Gary, and I just want to let you guys know, Gary was wearing a muumuu last night. He was totally stealing my look. But anyway, Cass was saying she's going to be a target as long as she's in this game. So she's telling Gary, like, you know, if you want a meat shield, keep me, because as long as I'm here, they're going to go for me first. So then Gary's like, yeah, I know, like, that is obviously something I've been thinking about. He tries to smooth that over by being like, but I want you to stay anyway, not just for that. But he's saying he's still talking to people, but he can't really campaign openly or he's going to become a target himself. So he's telling her, like, don't give up hope yet. Like, I'm still poking around, seeing what I could do. And Gary is saying, like, look, I think you still have a chance with Aika. She's wavering right now. But he's saying, like, yeah, I think I could potentially flip her. And then Cass is saying that's great because if we can get Aika, then we'll definitely also get Demetrius because those two are probably going to vote together. Alright, so then Gary was playing pool with Karen. They have a little game talk. And Karen is like, Cass is gonzo this week. Like, she is ready for her to go. And Gary's like, yeah, but going on the block this week has really weakened Cass. She's like a totally different player now. She feels all defeated. So he is kind of putting in a little bit of work with Karen here. He's saying, like, I'm not going to hustle for Cass to get all these votes for her, but if she can get the votes for herself, I'll vote for her to stay too. And Karen's like, I don't like that, because she feels like if Cass stays, that she's going to be the target next week. I don't know why Karen feels like she would be targeted if there was a vote flip. I mean, obviously, she would feel vulnerable if she was like one of the defectors or whatever, but at the same time, like, why would they go for Karen and not for like somebody like Gary or Cass if she stays? I don't get that. But anyway, yeah, Gary was putting in a little bit of work with Karen, but he wasn't really flexing those persuasion muscles that much. So then last night, Dre was trying to do some damage control with Netta because Aika told her to. So Dre is talking to her in the HOH room. She brings up that conversation when Netta let her know that Gary's been going around saying that she's been campaigning for Cass. So she's like, yeah, I just want to like clear some things up. I was really shocked and kind of annoyed when you told me about that. And she was like, I trust you, Aika, and William only. Like, you guys are my people. And she's saying that she was just trying to befriend Cass to get information for them, and then she was really hurt when Netta and Aika were questioning her loyalty. So I don't think that Netta was buying this, but she was playing along with it. And Dre also says, like, I realize I shouldn't have put my trust in Gary. I'm really upset with him now. She lets Netta know, like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but Gary doesn't like you. And Netta's like, I know. So then Netta says that she was thrown off because Dre was acting really weird after the nominations, after Cass went up, and she didn't get, like, why that was happening. I don't think anything was really cleared up here. Like, I think it was a good effort, I guess, on Dre's part, but these two have each other figured out. I don't see anything changing with that. So this morning, Aika and Dre were talking in the pink room, and they're trying to figure out how to handle this whole Gary betrayal situation, because he doesn't know at this point that Dre knows he was selling her out. So she's like, I don't know, what should I do? Like, should I keep this in my back pocket and just hold on to it and use it as a reason to vote him out in the future? And Aika was like, no, I feel like we can use this somehow. So she's like, what if you confront Gary about it? Let him know that you know so that he trusts Netta less. I don't know if that's possible, but she wants to drive more of a wedge between Neda and Gary and then tell him, like, oh, I don't believe it, but Neda did tell me, so that he also feels bad that Dre, you know, doesn't believe it, doesn't fall for it. I don't know. I think Dre pretty much just, like, wants to keep it to herself. She's not really one to, like, spread around stuff like that, it seems like, so far. I don't know. She got really pissed when Jackie was doing that with Cassandra, but maybe that's just because it was about Cassandra. I don't know. So then Cass and Dre were in the storage room, and Cass is like, I don't know if I can believe Gary. And Dre's like, hell no, he's a shit. But no. Cass is like, he's been telling me that he's confident he can get Ika and Demetrius to vote to keep me this week, but I don't know. Is that true? Because then Ika came to me and told me that I don't have the votes to stay this week. So, like, is he bullshitting me or what? So Cass is thinking, like, she could actually pull this off. She's asking Dre to help her out by talking to Ika, make her feel more comfortable about the vote. You know, really solidify those votes in there. She needs 6 to stay. So then Cass is still trying to work Ika. She's definitely going with the whole make Ika feel like she's at the bottom of the Vets Alliance strategy. She was telling her, like, yeah, Season 3 people definitely have an alliance. Kevin, Kevin, Bruno, and Cindy. Why is that always so funny to me? It's really not that funny. Kevin, Bruno, and Cindy. Also, Neda is working with them. So, like, they're going to be loyal to each other over you. So, like, do you really want to deal with that? Also, she's saying, keep me here. I'll be a target in front of you because you and Demetrius are going to be in trouble if I go. So Ika's like, yeah, I know, whatever. So Ika tells her, if you can get the votes, I'll vote to keep you. So, like, that sounds encouraging for Cass, but then when Cass leaves the room, Ika rolls her eyes. So I don't think it's working. It's just not looking good for Cass at this point. Gary was talking to Jackie today. He told her that she has his vote this week. So I think they're just trying to give Cass some hope, and then probably tomorrow night they're going to tell her, like, it's not happening. So, I don't know. I mean, Cass could still pull something out. There's still 2 days until the eviction. You never know what's going to happen. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And until next time, much love.